So we're going to start Revolution Roads. Now, not in the scenario instructions, but in the call to arms rules, it says at the beginning of the game, the Patriot gets his free call to arms action. I don't know if this is handled somewhere else in the rules. Maybe in the Special Knight Riders rules. Here we go. This is a good place for it. In the turn sequence, it calls it out. This is important because, you know, the game kind of has to, you have to start with this, right? Otherwise, these guys could be caught easily. Well, no, they couldn't be caught easily, but yeah, I'm not sure. They'll be running along with the Brits instead of ahead of them. Anyway, hey, we don't know which direction the English are coming from, though. We're just waking people up. Let's do that off the bat. Let's make sure there's some troops in the way everywhere. So here, that cost me 2 to move Dawes. A third action allows me to flip this up. And then my fourth will push me into there. All right, that's great. For Revere, we'll take our first action to wake somebody up. Second, third. Oh, you know, I gotta make rolls. 6s are my problems. Dawes woke one person up. Uh-oh. He was captured, I think. Got our big bad 6. That's not good. Okay, this will be under the call to arms action, I guess. Wow. And if we make it to Boston, we're in trouble. So Dawes only made it this far, and he's on his captured side. See if we lose Revere in his first shot. No. So he went 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to try to wake these guys up. Oh! All right, they're both captured. That means here's my last one. Prescott is magically released. This game would be pretty damn tough if the riders don't make it. And yeah, you know, there's a chance they don't. That's why the Prescott rules in play. They're really just, yeah, let's just pack it in at this point, you know, or should we keep playing? To some extent, I kind of feel like we should just pack it in because this is no longer historically reasonable. He just had a nightmare and woke up and is going to tell everybody what. But, yeah. And since it's so early in the game, it would almost make sense. Hey, just call it a British win and start over. Anyway. Now we go to the main play of the game. And they're going to get caught. There's no question of that. The question is whether or not I can get them released. Okay, let's find our sequence of play again, which is not very exciting. And it's deep in the rules. All right, so first thing we do is we flip one of these cards and we see how many points we each have. Both sides have 4. We roll a die to see who gets it. It's the Americans. So the Brits are going to have the initiative here. I'm not allowed to move those things yet. So now the question is what I'm kind of doing with the Brits. And I got to think about that. If I move into one or both of these, that's going to take my move, and it's going to use up one of my actions, but all my units get moved. Alternatively, I could ride down the road and do things. I could split up too. It's a possibility. One that I kind of like the idea of. I have a lot of actions here. Let me think about what my movement costs are going to be. So one of my actions is going to be, one or two of my actions are going to be moves, right? And the other thing I think I'm interested in is searching. Oh, I'm also interested in peeking, the gather intelligence. But I don't know how interested I am in it. Because flipping these things up takes victory points away from the Continentals anyway. So let's see. If I land here for one move, I can do a search with one. That's all I get. I'm not going to be moving anywhere or anything exciting. I could drop hinder musters on things, like up in Charleston or something. I don't know how terribly worried I am about them. So I think what I'm going to do is I am going to split my forces. This is probably really unwise. And I'm going to blow one of my moves. To send Pitcairn down here. One if by land, two if by sea, three if by, oh shit, they're coming both ways, four if not at all. All right, so that puts it over, and that's all that happens. That puts it over to Continentals, and I feel like escape is the most important thing I can do. There are unbroken Minutemen and militia in this space, of course. There's one, or one type. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to escape. Revere is stuck with the British regulars, which, of course, cancel out the bonus. So I'm going to try to escape at +1. 5, not good enough. Net of 5. Okay, that puts it back to the Brits. Well, I'm going to spend an action to move into here, hindering those escapes again. I want to get as many Knight Riders captured forever more as I can. That seems like a pretty good plan. And that's all I get to do. Now it puts it on the Americans, and they cannot do another call to arms. So I can't be sending Prescott out, you know, I had a bad dream yet. So I could hinder searches, escapes. Okay, so the player aid looks different from the rules. And I may not actually want to be there. Let's see what we have here. The player aid looks different from what I remember the rules. So it's +1 for each unbroken patroller, militia, or Minuteman, and -1 for each unbroken British regular. So these guys aren't going to escape anymore because it's per number. There's something that's, maybe it's the searches, that's one of each. You get one for Minutemen being there, one for militia being there. Yeah, I have no chance of escaping. because of where the troops are. But I'd be allowed to pick this as an option, which means I can't plan yet. I could hinder. That kind of appears to be all that I get out of this. Okay. Because I can't, oh, I could, is there a muster or something? Assemble. No, the mustering happens at the end of the turn, I think, automatically, right? So yeah, we can do a hinder search. We'll drop that here for whatever value that is. We'll search up here. Okay, we flip the hidden arms marker. That's no longer worth victory points to the Americans. And we will be subtracting 1 hash mark for any healthy Minutemen in the area and any healthy militia in the area. Well, we have one guy. No, we got one of each. Wow. So that's -2. So we're not going to get any victory points off this, and that's fine. We didn't get anything anyway. But we cleared that area, and that's cool. Okay, that puts it on the Americans. Well, if he's hindered there from searching, let's hinder him from moving there for whatever use that is. That puts it on the Brits. Now, I could go marching further, look for more shit, but my dudes there are preventing a mustering. If I can find the end of turn stuff. No, not here. Buried somewhere. Let's see. Remove the muster marker where there are no unbroken British regulars. So by staying here, something good is happening. So I'm going to blow my last point to plan. Okay. They don't give enough of the rules on there to be terribly useful. Like, it's not really any more useful than this list. You basically have to look it up here to find out whether or not you're able to do something. So like the specifics of when you can pick plan, they're not on there. It's just, a reminder more than anything else, but to me, a reminder is okay here. You start giving rules and you start giving a wrong impression, and that's a problem. Okay, that puts it on the Americans. No chance of, I didn't talk too much about movement, but you can't cross these rivers except on the roads, I believe. The rivers being the darker spaces. Which is important because Revere's going to have to walk some ways while captured. So is there anything I want to do with the Continentals at this point? I don't think so. I think they too are going to plan. We've now spent all our points. We're at that end phase. We look for where in the rules the sequence of play is. All right. This muster marker goes away. Now, we don't know the quality of those troops yet. If I remove hidden markers from the board, hinder 1. Okay. So these guys flip over to hinder 2s. Or hinder 1s or something. I should have been using moved markers on things. I didn't. That's okay. but if they're captured Knight Riders or Sons of Liberty, I can move 2 regions towards Boston. Okay, Dawes is out of the game captured. I don't have to move Revere. I'm worried he'll get away because he's got a fair chance of getting away. The hinder move stops the Brits, so they're not going to be able to march down the road here effectively. On the other hand, I kind of need to do things. I can't just stay back here and capture those 2 guys. Let's send him off on his way. And the turn marker moves forward. Did we get any victory points? I don't know. I mean, do we want to mark Revere? We have to find, or not Revere, Dawes. We have to find the rules on him, and then we have to captured Knight Rider. He'll be worth 2 victory points. Yeah, I might as well charge him up now. I hope I remember. Though. And we move on to turn 2. Okay, so the card drawn this turn, 4-5. Brits get to go first. This is important though. I would like to get Revere back under control. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend an action point. This is tough because I'm basically going to ignore this armaments and give the victory point for it, but that's okay. And I'm going to get rid of this hinder move. That'll show up next turn. If I had done it last turn, you know, it would show up more quickly, but it would have had more effect. But and then that puts it over to the rebels, and we're going to try to escape. We had 1 for each unbroken Minuteman or militia. There's 1 in the region, and we need a 6 or higher. We get it. So he has returned there. Now, that means I'm back on the Brits, and I don't know what I want to do. I found this. By clearing this, maybe this isn't really what I want to do so badly. On the other hand, by clearing this, I could move into here and, you know, maybe prevent things from happening and costing extra movement. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do what I paid for anyway. I'm going to move these guys. Now this time, I am going to put a moved marker. And yeah, that's my fireplace. The chimney leaks a little bit. Getting nice fire there. I don't know. See a little bit of it. Keeps the place nice and warm when I can arrange, you know, when I can get the wood to work in it. All right. So that was the brick move, and that puts us back to the Americans. I got to think a little bit. I don't know how much there is that I could do that's of interest. Obviously, I can do the call to arms. I've lost one of my dudes already. The victory points are spent. And then I've got this thing, which I could move, but he's not worth that much. Yeah, I think we're going to do the call to arms action for the turn. And let's see, Revere. So I cannot try to activate these guys. So where are we going to go? Well, I'm going to spend 2 of my actions, 3, 4, up to Watertown, and I'm running away. And I get his moved marker to remind me I can't do him again. Over here, I spend 1 action to wake those folks up, or 1 point. And a 6 finds me. I'm not found. These guys are now mustering. 2, 3, I do these. Another 6 check. No. 4, we're going to try to gather Medford too, just because it's there. Yeah, let me think a little more. A bunch of options, actually. One thing I could do is gather intelligence, see what the next couple cards are. Because, hey, I've got a search here I could make. I got a search up here I could make if I move Pitcairn, or I could run down here, but now wherever there's armaments, there's probably going to be troops. So, not too much value to that. I don't know. What's the advantage of being able to vaguely control these? So I can look at them and see, do I want to do this search, right? If I do that search, then what? If I perform a search and there's, I don't find anything, at least I blow away a victory point. But what if I use an action? Now this guy's already moved, so he's not going to go anywhere else. What if I use an action? Because I have 3. Then I could peek and see, hey, do I want to search or do I want to move first? How valuable is that? I don't know. This is victory points. Victory points seem valuable. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to do the gather intelligence action. Now I get to peek at these 2 cards. First one's crappy. Second one's decent. Now, how does that help me? Let's look at them again. I'm not quite sure that helped me, because I don't flip a card when I move. I could search for something better, but they're not worth more victory points. Like, this isn't worth more to me. I just am more insistent on trying to do it. So I think I actually wasted an action there, unless I don't want to search this turn. Why would I not want to search? I could plan. That sounds like a reasonable idea. Or I could grab some victory points with 2 searches, but I don't, because I blew the point, I don't have enough to move and search. So yeah, we'll move Pitcairn up to here, slow moves. Remember, I don't necessarily want to get to Concord too quickly. That could cause problems. And that can't be right. Let's move Pitcairn back, because this is an American point. Okay, so what are we left with for the Americans? I've done my rally, my whatever, call to arms action. I don't really get to do another one of any value. I guess I'm kind of down to taking pot shots at this point. So I could snipe or ambush.
Snipe takes 4 British healthy pieces that have moved. Well, right there I've got that. And they hit on 6s. These others take 2 British regulars and hit on 5s or 6s. I don't know which I'd prefer doing, but I'll spend points on sniping, I guess. And now I look for a snipe. Just indicates I can't do this again. And I get 4 dice because it's 1 die per piece, right? Yep. I got 2 hits. That's probably better than I would have gotten otherwise. I don't want to take the leader, I don't think. But breaking 2 units, okay, well, that's great. Now the Brits have their work cut out for them. I'm not going to move Pitcairn. I'm going to rally. So I spend a point. I grab a rally marker. Because I haven't hit Concord yet, I can rally 2 pieces. Okay. That's on the Americans. Well, since I already rallied there, maybe it's time to ambush there. And you're seeing more, I think, what the game's going to turn out to be like. Ambush, I get 2 dice. I'm looking for 5s and 6s. I get 1 hit. It's got to be against a regular. So there we go. And not a whole hell of a lot happening. And that spent his last point. Now, I could plan, or I could move Pitcairn. Given that I want to search next turn, I'm going to move Pitcairn into there. He gets the moved marker. We can't use any reserved actions. We would have had to do that on the 1 space. We're done. What do we do for end turn? Muster markers where there are no British regulars. There. There. Oh, look, the troops are like waking up. Here. This is the thing why you might want to, try to get in and prevent those troops from mustering, but it's hard. I guess I could have spent something to try to slow down mustering. There's only so many actions. These guys back here probably aren't going to be of too much value in the real fighting in the game. We hope. Right? Hinder markers are going to be removed. We had a hinder 1. This goes, I don't know, back there. Moved fire, rally, ambush, and snipes are all removed. Nobody's fired yet. I hope. Oh man. I hope ambush and snipe didn't just hand off 4 victory points, but maybe I can't help it. Let's take a look at the shot ran around the world or whatever, because I may have just done that. I cannot even do them. Oh, fuck. All right, what the hell? So I gotta unwind some stuff. I don't know what we're doing. One of them would be a plan action. Obviously the rally didn't have to be done. I am trying to fix because trying to remember stuff is hard. Okay. So one of them I got back for both. The Brits don't have another one that they get back, but the Americans do. I don't know what the hell they can do with it. I guess I could move, and I could do a road move to here, and we'll make that our move. What that does, I don't know. And now we're back to the Brits, I guess, with their final action. What do they want to do? They don't want to search. Trying to make up for all this. I could hinder that rally. Let's put the hinder marker here. That puts this back into play. And then that's going to flip over. So that means the forces that gathered here aren't that big a deal. And, we move the turn marker forward and the other American hinder marker comes back. Put a couple of these here and go do whatever it is I do. Sometimes a failure of imagination takes place. And in this case with the assemble rule, one of the game's developer, I don't have the thing here. I can't remember his name. His first name's Wade Hyatt, developer in rules. This is actually exactly as it says. It allows the Patriot to move all or some of his units to an adjacent region, not pick a region and move all of them to it. But everything on the map can move one space, basically. That was beyond my imagination simply because there's the movement order, but, you can't do the march order, which is 2 moves along the road with it. So it would free up the Continental units to be able to move a little bit more broadly towards someplace they need to go, like Concord. Certainly not what I would have thought. All right, let's flip a card and see what we get. Well, we knew what we were going to get, at least the Brits did. 3 and 4, and the Brits go first. What do they do? Yeah, I've been having more trouble with rules recently than I think even regularly that I do. Okay. Well, we know we've got a good search. And I don't really know which one I'd like to take. We know we're going to get victory points. These both are going to be at -1. Yeah, because there's only militia or only, it doesn't matter the stacking. So I'll hit this one because there's nothing there. And boom. Okay. So we got 3 hash marks. -1 for the militiamen is 2 hash marks. First of all, we searched, so this just goes away. And we get 2 victory points for that. But it did cost us an action. Now what? Do I want a call to arms type thing? One reason I would want to do that, here's the problem. There's there and there. Trying to decide if there's any huge reason, but I think it's the best thing I can do. Nothing's moved, so I can't do those things anyway, the ambush and sniping. And I've been backing up my points. Now, at some point or another, I'm going to have to fire the shot around the world, right? I mean, I don't see a way out of it, basically. Oh. If I went for where there's an active unit, that would count. Concord will count. So yeah, I can hold off and try to force the Brits to march on Concord, if I can do this right. All right, so we'll do the call to arms. See how that operates, and what is that? 4 movement points, I think. 4 action points. First one, we'll flip this. See if we wake something up that we shouldn't. Oh, let's pick the 6 because we know Yeah, this is, yay. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we get to roll again. Oh. At least he's got a long way to walk this time. And not that it matters, but that's there. Prescott. Prescott wants to go up there. And maybe I'll head back to here. I've activated all these. Yeah, that's probably my best move. Why are these? That happened last turn. Oh, there's a hinder muster, that's why. Okay, yeah, let's do them. 1, 2. 3, 4. And he gets a move marker, so I can't do him again. The problem with going up here, it means I'm basically going to be triggering the top of the map. So everything else is Revere's job, and Revere's been captured. That may not work well. Okay, that was them. Let me think a little bit about what I want the Brits to do. I got lost again in what I'm not going to call the poorly arranged rulebook, but a rulebook that definitely doesn't make sense to me the way it's arranged. There seems to be some sort of guiding principle behind it, but I can't grasp what it is. So I knew you can't cross these dark water barriers except at roads, but I couldn't find it. The first place, of course, I looked was for the movement rules, and those are here, and that's the only place they are, and they don't cover. There's no terrain effects chart. Eventually I decided, yeah, I'll look at the game map, because that's the most likely remaining place that I can think of. But I paged through the entire thing before looking in the table of contents for the move rules to find out that the only place where move is actually mentioned is on the actions chart. I thought there had been a more general movement rules thing that I was remembering from. Yeah, that's not here, so I had to page through the entire rule book to get to that understanding. And then, okay, it's kind of buried in here. There's a, I mean, it's not like if this is where you know it's going to be, you're going to find it. It's not that problem. But if you don't know what you're looking for precisely, if you don't recall, and again, for me, if you've watched my videos, I have trouble once you start throwing lots of graphics in a game in terms of remembering exactly where the text that I need is. I don't know. But, yeah, again, just personal foible there. But, yeah, I mean, there's a nice little separated paragraph. It explains it all, but... And it's not like there's a lot of terrain in the game, right? There's these pale rivers which don't seem to have any effect as far as I can tell, and dark rivers which do. And, you know, what can I say? But it did distract me enough that I lost my train of thought and my ability to experience the game as well as I would like to. Looking up to find that rule that I knew existed and would have just played with, except I'm doing a video, so like, I don't know. And I'm ruminating on the fact that on the last game, I missed a couple of major rules because of this kind of situation where the rulebook was not organized as I'm used to. Anyway, back to things. I know why I needed to know, because I was counting, okay, what if I go back here and search this? All right, so I do a move and a search. I've got only a couple actions left though, so maybe this doesn't make sense. But if I do a move and a search there, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And now the question was, can I cross this? Does it affect anything? Yeah, it kind of does. There's no road. 5, 6. Nope. 7 more turns. Now I'm on turn 3 here. So, that's probably cutting things a little close. When do I have to get to Concord? Is it just by the end of the game? Or is there something else? Let's find... victory conditions aren't in the rule book. They're hidden in here, kind of. 5 points for entering Concord. And then I need the relieving force to get to somewhere, which, if I'm marching towards Concord while it's getting there, that probably isn't good. So the problem is I'm trying to look for how I want to kind of optimize things. This force is going to want to hit, some of the we want to hit the big places. If we can't hit those, then we have to, then we have a problem. But we also don't particularly want to get to Concord quickly because then we lose 5 victory points. So delaying it as long as possible and delaying the Americans' ability to snipe and ambush us and all that seems like a positive thing. Of course, if we search in an area that's got mustered troops, that doesn't help either. So I think we're going to move one of our forces forward right now. And I think we want to move up to Medford. Up here, we can't search these, and the Americans don't even want to take an assemble action because we don't really want to move those yet. So we'll march up here. All right. How many more actions do I want is the question. That's a pretty good question, actually. We're not able to force march, are we? See, that player 8 is useless to me because I know it doesn't contain all the rules that I need. So I never look at it. So 2 regions, or I could march at a cost of breaking 1 unit. Well, I only have 1 unit here, and I don't know what would happen. Would he have to, be revealed on the board? I hope these things don't get revealed as soon as they show up. Guess we should look that up. Try to find where that rule is about how they operate. Again, difficult for me to find. I'm assuming it's under units here. Patriot Militia. Hidden value when they're placed in regions. When an action is taken that requires strength to be known, so breaking the unit would reveal it. There's not a broken version there. That's panic for the other game. Okay. So I couldn't march to Medford, and I don't remember. I'd have to look up the shot heard around the rules world to see an unbroken active Patriot unit. Okay, so even if I could march there, that wouldn't help me. If I do an assemble, do I get anything out of it? Is there half as many? Ooh, he's got a broken unit. Maybe he should be rallying his unit. Why does he have a broken unit? He should not have a broken unit. That unit was broken by one of the attack things that I couldn't do. Okay. So I don't know what else I can do other than move a unit. I could use some of my reserve actions, but I don't really have anything there. I don't particularly want to move either of these units because they're protecting something. This guy's protecting something. This guy's not. So where do I go with him? Yep. I march him down to Watertown. So now he's protecting something. Yes, these guys are mustering, but that's okay. If the Brits want to run back to Charleston, be my guest. That's pretty much where we are. That spent my last point for them. What about the British? Geez. Well, we want to search Medford. And we don't have the points to be doing these, hey, can I search or not? And I'm not really sure what good that does, except it could delay my decision on when I'm going to search. So we pull this, we get nothing, but we flip this and get rid of the point that's there. That ends the turn. We've got some cleanup. Be back. Americans should have done that. Should have tried to escape with Revere again, but with the stupid moved marker on him, I couldn't see he was captured and forgot about it. Oops. All right, well, on to turn 4. So, card came up. Brits win the initiative. They have to go first, essentially. What does that mean? Yeah. So I'm faced with some ugly choices here. You know, I can go search for things like Watertown. That's worth a couple of victory points. Up here, hitting Lexington and Minatomi. Yeah. Here's the problem. I'm kind of running out of places I can search safely. Now, I could send like 1 unit back here to search. And that would prevent Prescott from doing his job there effectively. But also, it would, you know, allow me to do something of potentially some value while I wait, or I could push forward. In every direction that I push forward, it looks like I'm going to be facing real troops. I could also spend for, you know, my no muster marker, putting it, you know, someplace like here again, if I want. Not much value to that, though, I don't think. I'm going to try this. It's not a long game. So I think, you know, testing things out doesn't seem like a terrible idea. But yes, I'm kind of wasting a point there, moving back there, maybe wasting an army unit I'm going to need. But that keeps Prescott from mustering these troops, and it puts me in a position to start searching there. And I can always move back if I don't, you know, or maybe they can move into a position where they can search here or something. It's just you don't have a lot of actions, so you kind of, that feels almost like I'm wasting one, but there aren't a lot of victory points either in the long run. I really hate the idea of giving up 5 victory points. I think I'm going to have to, though. Okay. So that puts it on the Americans. What do we want to do? I'd really like to free Revere. This might be the time to do our gathering action or assembly or whatever. There's no limit to that. I mean, we can do it as many times as I like, I guess. Why would I want to do it? Well, one reason would be to improve Revere's chances of escaping, but we've got this to guard, too. That's 2 victory points. Other side, are there other units I want to move? I mean, this is just worded all or some to an adjacent region. Prescott's kind of run out of things to muster. Haven't been doing anything with Hancock or Adams. The army's coming close. Let me consider this. How many units do I have? These guys are defending there. I don't think anything kind of... Yeah, I think only the Night Riders can wake the troops up, which means, you know, there could be fighting going on and everything, and these things just aren't mustering. So I absolutely need those Night Riders. What else moves other than this? I mean, you could push more units here into Minatomi. This guy's probably not too important, but he kind of doesn't want to leave. You know, I mean, that's the problem. I kind of don't want to go anywhere with the things I got. The call to arms move, which would allow me to move him, he'd end up using up a lot of his movement. He'd use up half his movement to get out of that space. Now, he could be off board then and start activating those off board units, but then I never get this basically. Oh boy, hard decisions, you know. Can't think. I suck at thinking. That's the problem. These guys, there's no real reason to go near them. These guys are going to rally on their own. I don't know. I really don't know. How's the move action defined? Am I able to like split people up? I don't think so. No, I think the units that move have to move as a stack. Again, it's not clear even from that definition. God. Yeah, I don't know. Let me back away and try thinking, because thinking with the camera's not working. I moved here, and that's just about it. Brits moved up here. We're gonna have to, I think we're gonna have to take the 5-point hit. As long as the Continentals or the Patriots or whatever leave their forces spread out all over the armaments, they kinda have to. I mean, we're looking at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points there. I've got to clear those. The 5-point penalty be damned, right? And the fact that they're not, you know, gathering means something there. So we're on the Brits right now. I could spend a point to do something like no muster or something like that. I kind of wish I could pass. I could spend this point and do something in order to keep another action on the burner. But I think what I'm just going to do is I'm going to take another reserve point, which isn't necessarily what I want, but another option would have been I could have burned my reserve, see if I want to search, but I don't have enough actions to move and search. So banking seems like a good idea. For the Americans, I could do a lot right now. I don't think there is a lot I want to do. I got Revere back with an escape action after moving into there. So I'm gonna do the good old, let's go muster with the call to arms action. Now, how do I want to do this? I could go here and muster that and then head back. That gets me another unit, more than I have. Could run over here, but I don't know how much good. I don't know how much I really need that unit. In particular, I think I'm better off heading in this direction. So let's go here. 1, 2, 3. No, I don't need to be there. All right, I guess we head down over to Lincoln. 1, 2, 3, 4. We flip the muster. No, we don't want to do that. 1, 2. Let me see if we're captured. I don't know how much that unit's going to be important, but we're not. 3, 4. I'll grab our move marker there. Let me look up the rules for mustering the off-map things. I think I can just burn actions to do it, but I'm not positive. No, it's once per turn after I make it off-map. That I can activate 1 unit per turn. Jeez. Otherwise, this would be hard. Come up this way, 1, 2, but then this is not easy to traverse. Like impossible. So yeah, we're gonna send Prescott off map. And he gets a little moved marker, so I know he can't do it again. And I guess that's the end there, and we have some cleanup. Notice we got some new troops coming in as well. 3-pip card on both sides. Did the first couple. The Patriots dropped a hinder search down here because there really isn't a lot I want to do. I don't want to move my units yet. They're still performing an interesting function. Brits move into here. Now, I could bypass this. I have more troops, but it's a 2-point. You know, if I'm going to lose the 5 points, I want to hit that. Which means, now I could just burn a point and get rid of that hidden search or hinder search. It's a lot of points to get a piece of garbage that I can just sit there for the rest of the game and do. I'm kind of looking at fighting, I think, and losing my 5 victory points. Is there a negative side? There isn't, so I guess I give them away. The advantage to fighting here is I get rid of this annoying thing, which makes my search easier. The disadvantage is after I do it, not only do I lose the victory points, but these guys could just move in, even using an assemble action. And once I've lost the victory points, the assemble action becomes more appealing to the Patriots. So, what do we do? Oy. If I keep pushing on here, these guys get to rally or show up. We could, of course, put a penalty on them for recruiting. Just so many choices, and it's not clear. You know, in most games, it's kind of like, yeah, I want to do this most of the time. It's not at all clear in this what you want to do most of the time because you've got limited actions and so many potential goals. Do I just want to search? I'd be looking at a -1. If I do search, I end up hurting myself. Is it me? I don't know if I'm the one who moved first. Who won? I don't remember. I think actually the Patriots have to go. Which could mean a lot of things. Among others, right? I don't know. I don't fucking know who rolled. Who had to go first? Fuck. There's no marker for that. So like, you know, in a normal 2-player game, you'd be like, you just went, dude, it's my turn, right? Except that, like, even when I'm playing, we go for a smoke break. You know, but the mind probably doesn't disentangle quite as much. We'd probably wait until the end of a turn or something. Whereas babbling to the camera, I just lose my train of thought so easily on these very pulse-based games if I'm too much on the camera, which is the case here. Well, I think the Brits had to go. Didn't they? Fuck. Who did the first thing? What was done? This was the first thing, wasn't it? Then they moved. Yeah. So it's the Americans now. And I could then upgrade more forces there. Don't really want to do that. I think I'm going to do my call to arms action. And I got to mark that with a move here. Who do I wake up? Let's wake this guy up, I guess. I don't know. Do I have a Minuteman somewhere? Not that Minutemen are that important. Whoa, what's up here? Did he forget his dude? Looks like he did. Is that green or blue? I have real trouble with green and blue. And I can't fucking tell. I think that's actually blue, but like The blue over here is not the same as the blue over here, but it's also not the same as the green over there to my eyes. I can't tell which. I think these are supposed to be blues. So I had a couple extra question marks, so it's nothing fought. That goes here, but that means that there's an extra green that I don't know, maybe it's somewhere on the board. Let me see if I can find where that is, because that looks blue now. It looked green before. Of course, this one did too, and this one's very clearly kind of bluish, I guess. Really having trouble seeing those colors. Fuck. I think that's a blue over there. I don't know where this fucking militiaman or Minuteman is supposed to be then. Maybe it was supposed to be here? I got a green and a blue there. No. I don't know. I don't know where he came from. I got a green and a blue here. I don't know where that extra green came from. Maybe it was an extra green instead of 2 extra blues. You know, whatever. I can't tell. Anyway, this was mustard. And because that's alert markers instead of muster markers or whatever, it doesn't have a capture chance, which is good because he's off map. Revere ran through and successfully did Lincoln without getting captured. And that means we're back on the Brits. Jeez. Well, we wanted to fire, I think. Or do we want to search? Which one do we want to do? Shit, I don't know. I can search here. No, I can't because there's a fucking marker there. God. All right, let's shoot. We'll see what combat looks like. All right. Well, there's a whole special combat table here. Defender chooses to battle or retreat. Well, if I don't fight, the 5 points aren't taken away. So, yeah, we fight. Okay. Attacker chooses the battle tactic. This is either simultaneous or defensive fire. We'll face defensive fire. At this point, we got to pull one of these suckers. And it's a 1. Who shot first? It's an attack, so, right? I mean, whatever. You can't force the other guy, right? Did we want to attack or did we want to assault? Assault is impossible. Did we want to charge? No, we don't want to break our unit. So the Patriot hits on 5s or 6s and gets 1 die because he's a strength 1 unit. He missed. The Brits on 4, 5s, and 6s. And by the way, the optional rule would put that on 6s. Probably adds some. It adds some realism in the sense that, like, it makes sense that Minutemen who were better trained and more prepared for this would do better. The question is, with the difference, are they really 100% better? You know, I don't know. I don't get the feeling, given that there's this, oh yeah, it's an optional role, and yeah, I guess it's more realistic, but whatever. I just don't get the idea. Oh wait, we got strengths too. Are we right about that? Is that what happens? Strength points, yes. So 6 dice, 4 5s and 6s. Well, obviously we're going to get a success here. We killed something. Does that do anything for us? No. Okay, we just gave the Patriots 5 victory points. We just eliminated a Patriot militia. We did more than 1 hit. We did 2 hits. So I think it's just destroyed. But let me make sure. It may not be that simple. I was just playing a game where not long ago where units couldn't be destroyed. Like they had a limit of the number of hits. And I don't know if this kind of merged in with that or whatever. Okay, so these are, I guess, destroyed. And that gives me some victory points that I looked up over here. 2 victory points. Yay! Well, we're still in the lead at least. And we've got now both a moved and fired marker on us, essentially. And we forgot to move this. All right, let's swap batteries and think some more. We're over the hour, but whatever. Question at this moment for me, wow, my battery didn't charge all the way. Must have been not plugged in properly. Is, hey, do the Patriots want to burn one of their reserve markers to keep this turn going? Or are we pretty much okay? I think we're okay. I don't think we need to use our reserve markers at this moment. So we're going to burn our action. And we're going to do the assembly action. It allows us to move 1 space each. Now, let's look at it. Is it only onboard spaces that can move? Or, you know, am I bonused enough that I get to use that? Let's look for it. Nope. Looks like I can move units from off-board as well. This has to go here. These guys are definitely going to move there. Lots and lots of moved markers. Do I want to uncover this? Yeah. I don't. The Brits are going to go marching through there, though. But I don't really present a good defense anymore. I can only move 1 space, though, because this wasn't a move action. Of course, that's not a force I really want to move. I think I'll move this forward as well. Is that really guarding anything anymore? I mean, a little bit. I can retreat before combat, so he's probably as good where he is. This I'm just going to give up and make my stand at Lexington. But that means Watertown is the first fire in this game. This is not active yet. Anything else I want to move? It's hard to tell because I got like this. This guy, I don't think he wants to move a space. Guess there's a question. I could have moved this guy into here and these guys into there. Does this make sense blocking the space heavily? And then I can always retreat before combat. But there's a cost to retreat before combat. And of course now I can do sniping and stuff. I could have shot this guy. I don't care. Yeah, so this guy was here. He could move here and these guys could move there. But there's a reason not to, isn't there? Which is these guys can make the search a little harder. And he's not allowed to fire. The defending units got a fire marker before they died. Revere should have a moved marker. He did stuff. I just forgot about him. I guess we're okay. All right. Now the Brits. Hey, we could take a bunch of actions now. Do we particularly want to? Do we want to search at worse odds than we were at before? Do we want to move Pitcairn? We can't search over there. Good question. What else could we do? We have an injured guy. We could rally, right? No, we don't have an injured guy. That was a mistake. I don't know. I think we'll search for that. Just get rid of those 2 points. Let's see what we got here. We got a -2. It's really unlikely we're going to get anything. Oh, we get a victory point. But that burns a good card, right? And this is gone. And that ends our turn. And it's time to clean up. We got not mustering. Mustering, though. and take the moved markers off and all that cleanup stuff, and then we load this one up.